job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. What a terrific Thursday's edition of Talk Today. We're going to have a very special, a wonderful and magnificent lady of the soil joining us. You want to know what's going to transpire? Well, you got two choices right now. You can just hop onto the YouTube channel and see us, or you can stay tuned and find out. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village, convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thanks for joining us. And in the studio, it's Miss Sandra Archer, and I'm honored that you would accept the invitation to sit with us and we can chat. You know, it's an interesting time of year, and for some of us, it's the most beautiful. It is the special, feeling that you get of being with family and friends. So, good afternoon to you, Mom.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. Such a pleasure to be here, in such wonderful company. I've heard several of the shows, and I've heard the topic about Old Cayman Christmas. Yeah. And one day I saw Dwayne, and I said, Dwayne, how about it? Can I come on the show? And he said, oh, goodness, Miss Sandra, sure. You come on and we'll have ourselves a good time. And that's what my intentions are today, sharing some lovely old Cayman memories about my family during these times.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, right, and as we're listening, I want to say, I think I'm multitasking, but I saw a study that says you can't do more than one thing intently and competently. But we have a listener who's joined us, right? So we said, hop on to YouTube. They said, well, luckily I was, because when you sit out, they went to a break and there is no us. So they said to tell Miss Sandra, happy Christmas. I said, she's so beautiful. Now, she said that's fuchsia that you're wearing. I say it's pink.
It's fuchsia. Fuchsia comes from, pink. Okay. It's mixed up into fuchsia.
I mean... And I want to say she because, I'm thinking to myself, really? Fuchsia? I mean, a guy wouldn't know that. And I suppose there's a color called chartreuse as well, huh?
Yeah.
That's green.
But something, Sterling, there is a known fact, that most guys they're slightly colorblind, so that's okay.
Well, my brother says he's colorblind. He doesn't matter the color of the woman, he's just blind to the love. Sorry.
Of course, nothing wrong with that.
No, but why I say that is that this is, it's very festive, and but to me, it's the smile that you bring. You light up the room, and I really am grateful that you would take yourself away from your obviously very busy work, but also the preparations for Christmas, and to remind us as we reminisce, to get us to, as we regale, to be purposeful about celebrating Christmas, the holiness, the healthiness, the togetherness. And do you have any particular favorite memories as we start off? And I want to ask you, in addition to that, traditions even, and maybe some of the things that, as I look at, maybe regrets at times when you think about it, because things are moving so fast. And many of us 2 years ago, or in my mind 2 centuries ago, because last year was a long century, next year, I'll take vacation. Next year I'll do this. Well, didn't do it last year. It probably won't happen again this year. Who knows what? 2022. So it's like a repeat of 2020. All right, Miss Sandra. So to you, what do you think?
Such wonderful memories. Always with my siblings, my parents, and some of my family down in West Bay, where we lived until I think I was 9 years old. We came here at the age of 4. Mama went over to Jamaica and she met my daddy. They got married. She had 4 of us, Andre and I, who are twins, and then followed, by Christine, Brenda. That's 4 of us, and she was pregnant with my sister Dorna. And I'm sure that so many people have heard about that boat. Can't remember if it was a schooner or a boat itself, but the Merco.
Was it Majestic or the Merco?
No, the Merco, yes. Okay. We came here from Jamaica.
Okay.
On the Merco. I think it was October the 16th, 1961. That always reminded me of it. And, the first Christmas, I don't remember much of that. I was only 4 years old. But I know the other Christmases was filled with this excitement, going with Mama, because there were many times Daddy was away because he was on training courses. And all of us, as kids, we were all excited to see our family back in San, in these baskets that my mother made and my grandmother. And we were all excited. We'd go to the beach, and watch them and help. I mean, we were too little, to really carry any of the baskets, but it was exciting then, to see the yard so pristine with this this beautiful white sand that like shimmered to me in the moonlight. It was gorgeous. And then they bordered it with the best conch shells that had the most beautiful pink and iridescent looking hues, and it was so exciting. And we looked forward to it, with this great anticipation. There was this pulse in the air, that, oh my goodness, Christmas, we went to South Sound and cut down one of the casuarina pines. And of course they used to have all like paint pans, and then we would wrap them with some sort of paper and put water and sand so the tree wouldn't turn brown so quickly. We didn't have much of decorations, but we put on that tree what we had, and it was done with a lot of love.
That was it.
And to us, that was what Christmas was all about. It was about laughter and sharing and loving one another, and thankful that we were all together during that wonderful time. And Mama always said to us, now listen, children, you must always remember, because we had to go to church and stuff Christmas Eve night, and they would have these lovely little concerts. And she would always say, remember why Christmas is about. It's about Jesus. It's about God. So bear that in mind, that's your number one reason for this wonderful time, So,
yeah, man. Well, I'm hoping, Sandra, that as people listen and understand, there are a lot of people who busy they're stressed. Their lives are hectic. There are many people who are hurting. They still feel great sorrow.
Yes.
We don't want to be dismissive of any of them, but we want to invite them to join us as we journey, as we try to fellowship, as we reminisce, as we show gratitude and hopefully a semblance of respect. So when we come back from the break, I want you to tell us more about the stories, because we forget so much. And if there was ever a gifted storyteller that was untold, well, Miss Sandra sits with us, and her siblings would tell you she's just as beautiful inside and out. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
At Subway, we caramel a lot about our customers, so we decided to give you 2 treats in one with the new Caramel Apple Cookie. Enjoy cinnamon apples, caramel bits, and salted caramel crunch baked in, and topped with a drizzle of caramel-flavored icing. Gooey, crunchy, and yummy. Complete your Subway sandwich, pizza, or salad with the delicious Caramel Apple Cookie or any other cookie flavor and dessert, available for a limited time at all Subway locations. Subway, eat fresh.
The holidays wouldn't be the same without a little boom from Fireworks Limited. Cayman's biggest firework discount megastore is now open behind Massive Equipment in Industrial Park. Fireworks Limited has a megastore full of new fireworks and offers huge volume discounts. Stock up early and save big with free gifts with every purchase and the biggest variety of products on island. Fireworks Limited is behind Massive in Industrial Park with tons of parking.
Open until 6 p.m. every night and until 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
You can now register online to receive a securely verified digital copy of your COVID-19 vaccination status with QR code through the MyHSA patient portal. Sign up is available online and at all HSA locations. All you need is your photo ID showing date of birth and an email address. Visit hsa.ky and click the MyHSA patient portal icon to get started.
More ways to win big this Christmas. The more you watch, listen, and stream your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win from thousands of prizes. Enter to win the grand prizes of US $10,000 cash, US $5,000 cash, or a Digicel family pack with 4 smartphones and free service for a year. Simply listen to your favorite Christmas carols in D Music, watch movies in Play Go, live sports in SportsMax, or connect with friends in BIP and join BIP Rewards channel for daily prizes. Claim your guaranteed prize every Saturday. Shake to win in the My Digicel app today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
Tis the season to celebrate. I'm Cassandra Bennett, Trade Officer with the Department of Commerce and Investment. Liquor license holders are reminded of their permitted hours, and in particular, the closing hours of 12 a.m. effective until December 30th for all bars, nightclubs, restaurants with bars, and retail mobile holders. All liquor license holders are also reminded that sales must stop 10 minutes prior to closing time, which is now 12 a.m. Social distancing is still encouraged, and a maximum capacity for indoor venues is 100 people and 250 people for outdoor venues. Closing hours for New Year's Eve will be announced as soon as a cabinet directive has been confirmed. Stay tuned to Radio Cayman 89.9 FM. For further details, please email the Department of Commerce and Investment at info@dci.gov.ky.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back, and thanks for joining us tonight. Merry Christmas to you, and we want you to celebrate, to share. As we live, love, and laugh, we will learn. And I have the excellent company of Sandra Archer joining us. It's not just a pleasure, not a true privilege, but an honor that you would accept the invitation. Too many times we talk amongst ourselves. We don't share sufficiently publicly some of the stories. And as things have changed, and I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody relative to what is happening globally. But our young people in particular are being impacted in a way that for them, maybe they are now able to see that there was once a Cayman that was festive and loving and can once again be. And maybe as they're reminded, as you get into share with us, I just say this with you. I had what I thought was an honor, go this morning to get the Christmas beef. My brother Dwight would usually go and do that. And I hadn't had to do it in years. And I thought, no, it would be good. So the Gillard and crew, it was a pleasure just to sit there for a couple of hours and to watch the magic unfold. I mean, the beef was there, and I got it to take it back and season it. Man, it's amazing, Lissandra.
And the aromas. You know, that's one of the other wonderful memories that's etched in my mind, you know, along with my siblings, is the aroma of our mother and grandmother cooking. And remember those days, it was the caboose, because this was a detached little kitchen, you know, that was joined by something called a trapway.
But even to the name, sometimes we forget.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, really wouldn't know, well, especially the younger ones now. But kitchens were detached in those days, and I think most of all for safety reasons as well. And it was so, the smells of the stew beef, oh my goodness. And my grandmother would dig holes. She would dig a hole in the earth and put coals to bake the heavy cakes. And I remember the three favorites were cassava cake, breadfruit cake, and yam cake. You know, Sterling, come to think of it, I haven't had a yam cake in quite some time. Yeah, one of my friends, she bakes a beautiful breadfruit cake, and I always say to her how wonderful that cake is, because it reminds me of Mama. Mama made the best breadfruit cakes, in my opinion.
Hey, listen, I won't argue with you.
The best, let me tell you, beautiful cakes. And Christmas morning was amazing. It was the smell of apples.
Yeah.
Yes, apples came from Jamaica. And those days, you could smell apples. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. To this day, when I smell an apple, Sterling, it just brings back those wonderful memories. Yeah.
When do you think that smell of apples? Because like you, I mean, callers to the show every Christmas, my father, like many, that is the distinct memory of Christmas, the smell of apples.
Apples, yeah.
I can remember apples having a beautiful aroma. Just absolutely, just smelled delicious.
It stayed with you.
And I can't tell the last time that I smelled an apple. I mean, I've consciously tried to.
Yeah.
So maybe in getting the apple to the market faster and much more efficiently.
Or to preserve it, I don't know.
Yeah, apple will smell?
Unfortunately. Yeah. Or maybe they altered their DNA.
Well,
we don't know.
I mean, will follow the science. Huh?
They have done things, you know, to food.
So apples came in from Jamaica, Tampa,
yes,
and different places too, right? True.
Yes,
I
remember because I think Daddy or used to go and buy them from some of the little shops, you know, that were open. And I remember too that when you walked into those little shops, all you could smell this really, really gorgeous aroma of those apples, and that signified Christmas for us.
Now, is it that maybe for us listening, we talk about being environmentally conscious and reducing the carbon footprint and offsetting and all sorts of things, right? And I'm not trying to, be overly dismissive of it in a way,
right?
But back then, you got fruit when it was in season. You got things, and you were appreciative. And you waited until you didn't expect to get strawberries, any day of the week all day long, right?
Right.
Seeing with apples and mangoes and the like. So you think it was the appreciation that, this was a special treat and you valued it because knowing what it was?
Yes.
Now it's, you get what you want when you want.
Yes, that's
instantaneously.
Right. And it was such a wonderful feeling to wait on it.
Mm-hmm.
There was this anticipation, and it was magical for us as little children, and several more things. We got wrapped up with a ribbon on Christmas Day. We got some new clothes, which was very exciting. And I think one of the highlights of Christmas time for me was going into town. Was it Cardinal Avenue?
Well, that's what it is now.
Where was that road? What's that road called? Where the old Marin's hardware store, Yankee Notion.
Yeah. Well, that's Shane Road. I mean.
This one by the waterfront.
Waterfront. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was Shane Road, but I'll be 100%.
Yeah.
It comes out. I mean, Old Marin's. You come down on the left-hand side.
Yes.
I remember Miss Kippy, Mr. Harris.
Yes, Miss Kippy, beautiful, lovely old lady.
Yeah.
And then you had, I remember Mama used to engage a ride, because a car ride to go into town with us Christmas time.
Yeah.
And remember, you had By Right. And you had Santa Claus riding by right, and then you would sit on his lap, and then he would ask you, "And what would you like this Christmas, little girl?" Ho 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 ho, and then we would very shy, very shyly say, "Oh, I would like a big dolly." And then when you didn't get your big dolly, because at the time it was not affordable, you would sort of like be a little bit depressed, but then that feeling soon left, because you had so much fun otherwise. And like I was saying, that road was, let me tell you something, hopping and pulsing with magic. You smelled these beautiful aromas of food cooking. Patterson Record Shop, I think, was on the other road, and you could hear his music. And you had Mr. Howell Shoe Shop. You had Miss Iris. Miss Iris had a store there, so almost like a haberdashery. Everything was in it, and the Yankee Notion. And I mean, we would go in there, and Mama would be holding, our hand, and she would say, "Now, try not to ask for a big dollar or anything, because your father and I can't afford that. This Christmas, I mean, it's 8 of us, So we were taught very, very at a very young age the value of money, and that not everything we saw we could get.
But you always appreciated what you had. Yeah?
But we sure did appreciate it.
And I think we valued being together. We understood the importance of you talked about, engage in a ride. Well, we'll engage your Christmas beef, right?
Yeah.
And that's not just a tradition. I mean, for some people, that's probably the only time of year that they'll eat, red meat, as it were.
Yes.
Or any kind of meat, Christmas and New Year's.
Exactly.
And for many of us, now, I'm come to understand that depending on which district you're from, you may have gotten it more. We had fish all the time. Beef was not something we had as often, right?
No.
So getting it then, but engaging that ride, understanding the importance. But you saw within the family that sense of love. Miss Andrew, we do have a caller joining us. You can comfortably, don those headsets.
Okay.
Susan will make sure the volume is just perfect as
Okay.
we go to the phones. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon, Miss Sandra. How are you?
You can hear me okay, Miss Sandra?
No, not hearing.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling and Miss Sandra. How are you?
Oh, just wonderful. How are you?
Okay. I want to talk to you as an adult, but we can't get Sterling in this because, he's a minor, he's a child.
I'm still young and youthful, boy. You remember that. Thanks.
You can't get into big people talk.
Okay.
I just sit on the other side of the fence.
You know who this is, though, right? You know who this is?
You want me to tell her?
Yeah, make Sterling.
Please.
Okay. This is the first elected member for the North Sound Key, south side of Georgetown, west of East End.
All right.
Come on, you tell her. Or, I mean, you want your name. This is our brother George Gillette.
Oh, George Gillette.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi, Mr. Gillette. George, how are you doing, my darling?
Your dad used to be my boss. You remember that?
Oh,
right?
yes.
He used to be my boss. But like I say, Sterling can't get into this. But you do remember them younger years when we would go for Christmas, and the thing was Paradise Plum. If you never get them from Comart, you got them from By Right. Marion's.
Yes.
And they used to come from Jamaica, I think, or England, somewhere about there. From England, via Jamaica. And that was the main thing for us in Christmas, you know. In Paradise Plums, and we had those.
Yeah, one of them.
Along with our apples, they were the apples, but not too much the grapes, you know.
Yeah.
So we weren't privileged to get all two. But I was listening to you talking and remembering about the Christmas time and smelling the food that, you know, those people used to cook. And nowadays they got so much different stuff in the shop, spices and stuff. And I always tell people, you want a good plate of food, onion, garlic, you know.
Peppers, yeah.
That's all you need. And you got the best food in the world. Those old people were the best cooks.
Oh, definitely.
Up there, and you were talking about by Patterson's shop. You know, Christmas time, he had music going 24 hours.
Oh, yes.
His music playing, and he always had Christmas tree lights. And with him, he always had a story to tell you.
Yes.
Just like your dad, you know, the first thing in the morning, your dad would give you a joke.
Oh,
and
yes.
The last thing in the afternoon when he can give you another joke. And don't care where you were, you were in his shop. Anyway, he didn't care. He come up to you and give you a joke. You know, to lift your spirit up.
Oh, yeah.
But he had low. Christmas time, he had low. Let me tell you.
Definitely.
He had a lot of that, and that is gone, Miss Sandra. That is gone.
It's not like before, no.
You're not going to get that back, and that's the problem. You know?
Yeah, that's
I just want to remind you that.
That's right. That's why every year, you know, we all, my siblings and I and our children and grandchildren, we all meet at one house and continue, you know, our tradition, because it's culture, and that's something that we have to pass on to our children and grandchildren, so that they are very proud of their culture and their heritage. You know, they be proud of who they are.
These modernized children now, they don't want to hear this. You know, they got a different perspective of Christmas, you know.
Yes.
Those people that didn't even remember anything about religion or about God, that was the time of the year that they got, you know, they went to church. They don't go to church at least once a year, but they were sincere with it. And they would tell you, man, you know, the whole year I didn't been to church, but, you know, still God is good, you know, and stuff. These young people don't want to hear nothing about church. And it's so sad because it is gone, and it seems to me like it ain't coming back, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was talking to a gentleman that, you know, by the Church of God on the waterfront a few days ago, and he was telling me, you know, that his church has loaned elderly Caymanian folks, and he said, when those are passed on, you know, the dying pass on, did he know other young people coming into the churches?
Yes, very sad.
The churches. But I was seeing something a few months back where this rapper had a concert, and let me tell you, the young people was going crazy. I had to tell some friends of mine from my church, I said, we got to have to develop some kind of strategy to, you know, to win the young people over to get into the church. Because when the elderly are gone, who's going to take over the church, you know?
Yeah.
I just want to wish you and Mr. Sterling and Miss Susan a blessed holiday season, and look forward to next year. It ain't going to get no better. It can continue to get worse.
No, man. It will be that. It will get better.
Yeah.
No, my friend.
We have to be positive.
If you go about prophecy, the times I tell you, it ain't going to get no better as time consists. But yeah, we want hope for prosperity and health. That's what we need. Once we got health, we can achieve anything. So God bless you all.
Amen.
God bless you, George, and have a wonderful Christmas with your family, and stay positive. Things will get better.
Amen.
Okay, as long as we keep our faith in God.
Amen. Well, let's pause and take that short break. The phone lines are open as we invite you to call and share your thoughts with us. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Savannah Pharmacy. Shop local and get a head start on your Christmas shopping. For ladies' handbags, clothes, shoes, fragrance, candles, and cosmetics with the newest Farmhouse Fresh line of skincare. For the gentlemen, clothes, shoes, fragrances, gift sets, and toys and games for the kids. Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs. And convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
A friendly holiday reminder. You can WhatsApp your Savannah Pharmacy prescription to 929-5045. That's 929-5045.
Brand Source is helping you get a load off this Christmas with 10% off all washers and dryers. Choose from top loaders, front loaders, compact laundry centers, and wash towers, all at 10% off. Shop the best in laundry appliances from Samsung, General Electric, LG, and commercial brands like Encore and Crossover. Save 10% now until December 24th on all washers and dryers. Only at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Call Brand Source at 623-5000.
Cash is a must this Christmas.
JN Money Cash Month Christmas.
Send or receive funds with the JN Money this holiday season to win big.
JN Money Cash Month Christmas.
Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Please be advised that the pension contribution holiday has been extended until 31st of March, 2022. Employers and plan members should ensure arrangements are in place for salary deductions and remittance following this date. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, keeping you informed. For further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We're here for you.
Talk today. But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255, or WhatsApp 925-3261. We're glad Ms. Sandra Archer would sit with us. And, it's interesting to watch, our lives unfold as we marry, as we have children, as our children have children, as they have children. And there are some of us who are not just parents or grandparents, but great-grandparents. And, 4 generations sometimes you see assemble, and it's, for me, that sort of lineage, but that bond of love. And then, as you told us your family's history, your mother leaves here, she travels, she meets your father, you all return here, and blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them, right? You and your siblings are just fantastic people. Amazing. Your parents can be so proud of you.
Thank you. Oh, yes. I'm proud of my family as well.
Oh, man.
I'm proud. We're blessed to grow up together. God bless us. We're still all together. Yeah. And whenever one hurt, everyone hurts,
And that is where I know me, and I tell people I know what makes me tick, I know what takes me off. It's love that is important, and like you said earlier, and so many will share immediately, but how many of us are like you and actually practice it? Be grateful for what you have. Give thanks.
That's right.
Share and share alike.
Oh, yes.
Is what you probably heard in your household as
yes.
many of us here in ours, right?
Mom and Daddy, they set the example for us,
Mm-hmm.
And it's wonderful to grow up and still sharing and still helping.
Yeah.
You know, and with our family, it's a feel good feeling.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to do it. You know, for those that's less fortunate, and you know, from we were children, that's what we always we did, and we teach our children and our grandchildren as well.
What's interesting though, I mean, for us, given that we're young, we're talking just 50 years ago, less than 50 years for many of us, right? And then for our parents and some of our older siblings, that may be almost 100 years ago, and yet many of the things that happened then still happen now. But sadly, a lot of the things have fallen by the way. And as Mr. George just shared, we need to be mindful that we don't lose who we are, our identity, our values, just because we expect change.
Exactly. That's true. Sterling, I find, that, that social media has done its negative, I think, on the young children. A lot of young Caymanian children they're so in tune with what's happening in the U.S., North America, and unfortunately they're very much influenced by it. But it's up to us. It's up to us to teach these children who they are. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your accent. That's who you are. That's what you are. Be proud of your food. Be proud of your culture, your heritage, and keep these traditions.
Yeah, I mean, you shared just then, that the smells, right? Well, okay. So I was seasoning up the beef this morning. So that's the onion, the garlic, the peppers, and the stuff. That's one.
Getting me hungry, Sterling.
Yeah. And then I called a friend and said, "Man, you should smell my place," right? So we're all, and she's got all the spices for the cassava going on.
Oh my God!
And here we are. Today is Thursday. For many of us, the beef has already been seasoned. Whatever meats we got going.
Oh yeah.
The cassava cake, the coconut milk, had been boiled down by yesterday, last night.
That's right.
Things are happening, right?
Exactly.
And there's a lot of, for want of a better word, just so people understand, a lot of work, a lot of effort going into preparing. But it isn't just to sit down for a couple of hours and eat and go.
Right.
It's all this thing that happens beforehand, so that when you sit and eat, there's a sense of thanksgiving, of fellowship.
Of course.
And then after, you're lazing around, talking some more, and you're really getting, the sense of family, of fellowship. I'm hoping that we will, consciously, very deliberately try to hold on to it, especially now that it is a weekend. Saturday, most places should be closed or are closed. I know that many people don't respect that in a sense. Well, why should they be? Well, there's sometimes when some things just should be in order. But if the biggest industrial machine sometimes needs to be taken offline.
Yes,
that's
right.
We have a computer system that they'll tell us, the IT experts, say, listen, we're going to be offline from it for, maintenance, for updates, for patches, for whatever they call it. It may be for a couple of hours, it may only be for a few minutes.
That's
but
right.
even to that has to be taken off for a bit. Why don't we do the same and sit and hug a coconut, sit in the backyard and enjoy the grandchildren, laugh among siblings about the time when you're small and you did this and you remember mama said that, but your dad come home. Little things, right?
Yep, there's a season for everything.
Yep.
And it comes a time when, yes, especially during this season, we need to take time off to be with family, to thank God, to thank Him every morning that we get up, that we can be with our family.
Yeah.
And Sterling, going back to the beautiful Cayman style beef and stuff like that. We forgot to speak about the sides. Cornbread.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Remember
cornbread, potato salad with beets in it. My favorite.
You prefer with beets or with peas?
No, I love it. No, I put both in it.
Okay.
I put both.
Okay.
And it's up. You have to grate onion in it. that is what brings up the taste. It's so delicious.
You know, I think many times we look at what sort of brings people together. I think food is one of those.
It's universal.
Yeah. And I like to hear how people will prepare certain things. We watch a traditional dish perhaps evolve, you know. Well, my grandmother used to do this, but I found if I do this, some will do that just to add their touch. Others will be purists. No, this is how my grandmother did it because she said that's how her grandmother did it, and she said that's how her grandmother did it.
Because it's handed down.
Handed down, and there's no deviation, right? And so I like to ask, recipes. Like for me, no, I prefer breadfruit salad over potato salad, right?
Okay.
But I've tested something just the other day, just to see how it would work. I like lentils. So I came up with a little thing, and I said, I gotta use this and call it, like a homage to mashed potato, in a sense.
Yeah.
Right? And today, I'm asking, as you get the beef, where do you get the beef that you get? Like the recipe, well, it's what Mama got because that's what Mama got because that's what Mama got.
Yeah.
And you get the same thing.
Exactly.
And that's why I got what I got.
That's right.
That's the one you know.
Yeah.
So keeping that alive and honoring it, treasuring it, those memories will live, from generation.
Forever.
Yeah.
When my son turned 23, I taught him how to cook.
Yeah.
And now he is he's awesome. He's a wonderful cook. And, I'm so proud that I can go to his home and Mommy say what I cooked. Mommy, sit down. I'm going to serve you. And absolutely, it's fantastic. And I taught him my mother's recipes.
Oh, man.
And let me tell you something. It is amazing. Mama taught me how to cook breadfruit properly. She said, Sandra, you steam breadfruit. You don't boil it. Yeah,
just a little water.
Steam it, you boil it, and sweet potatoes and cassavas and cassava, were the side dishes with that turtle. Oh my God!
Rebecca, where are you?
These days, it's a delicacy, but I went to a restaurant once and I was served turtle with rice and beans and a tossed salad. So I called the owner, who's a very, very lovely gentleman, and I said, I would like to teach you something about our tradition. I said, turtle is this is our delicacy now. This has to be served with what we call bread kind.
If you don't got it, don't.
Please do not put tossed salad in my turtle dinner.
Mess it up, man.
So he told me, thank you, Miss Sandra. You taught me something.
But see, he's receptive, But you're a good teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some the other day, and I said, listen, I want to watch my weight, and I want to get muscular, so cut back the carbs, leave the rice out, leave the rice and beans out, but pile on the bread kind.
Sterling, you don't look a day over 18.
I was going for 25, but I'll get there at some point.
Exactly. Why the rush, right?
That's what I say.
Another beautiful little memory. It's kind of funny, but about Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, it was always weather like this, just like what we have now. Very cool, very overcast, and that's the weather that we absolutely loved, and we associated that with Christmas.
Yeah.
And I remember I would be very excited. I want to get dressed up. So, Sunday, Christmas Day, we had to have on our best, shoes and best dresses. And of course, I saw, my aunts and my mother, they would put on lipstick and powder, and I wanted lipstick too, but I wasn't allowed. So I would go under my Aunt Rebecca's hibiscus tree and take some of the, the old hibiscus that had fallen and rub them together, squish them, and put them on my fingernails and put them on my lips for lipstick. And when I would stop playing now and go home, Mama would say to me, child, what is wrong with you? And I would say, nothing, Mama. And she would say, what is that on your lips and your fingers? And I said, it's lipstick. I made it myself. And then she said, oh, God, go and wash it off. You look like you died.
They didn't know.
Yeah, and we would hook, you know, the Exora flowers or hibiscus, hook them together to make necklaces and earrings. And we made our own chewing gum from the Neesberry tree.
I tried that sometime recently.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's difficult to chew. But I mean, what else? We didn't have anything else to really compare it to. I mean, years later we got PK.
Yeah.
Chewing gum, but I mean, it was so amazing, and we made from when we got, watermelons was amazing too,
right. And
we would peel it.
Yeah. So you tell us about the watermelons when we come back?
Yes,
with
definitely.
Miss Sandra. Well, this is, a blessing, and thanks to Miss Sandra Archer for sharing with us. And as you listen to our news, join us right after so we can tell you more and maybe you can share with us. Stay tuned.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. The Cayman Islands Health Services Authority advises its patients and visitors of the following Christmas holiday hours. Accident and emergency remains open 24 hours throughout the holiday season. And the Cayman Islands Hospital Pharmacy is open from Christmas Day, Boxing Day, December 27th and 28th, New Year's Day and January 3rd, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pharmacy will resume regular working hours, weekdays 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and weekends 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. after the holidays. In international news, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall will be with the Queen on Christmas Day, Clarence House has said. It comes after Buckingham Palace announced the Queen had cancelled spending Christmas at Sandringham in Norfolk amid concerns about the rising levels of the Omicron variant. Instead, she will spend the day in Windsor as she did last year. The Belgian government has reached a deal to close 7 aging nuclear reactors by 2025. The reactors have long been controversial. They have been shut down repeatedly for safety checks and have sparked fear in neighboring countries. Closures will begin in 2022 with the aim of both plants being safely decommissioned and demolished by 2045. Actor James Franco has admitted having sex with students from his acting school almost 4 years after sexual misconduct allegations were made. The 43-year-old agreed to pay $2.2 million in July after being sued for engaging in, quote, sexually charged behavior towards female students. He said he had not started the school to lure women for sexual purposes. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And for those of you who are sharing with us, maybe you will, recall some of your favorite Christmas memories. We do have the excellent company of Sandra Archer, and phone lines are available. Susan answers the phone most times, between 9 a.m. and the next day is 8 a.m. She's available constantly. She just takes a little time off. 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255 if you want to share your thoughts with us. But you talk about watermelons. I mean, fruits for many of us were sort of the treasured gifts of for many of us because they were perhaps only available at Christmas for some of us. Apples, watermelons. What else? You fondly recall that you
almonds. We made little almond candles. Put them in some brown sugar and created drops, like almond drops and coconut, what they call coconut trash.
Yeah.
Those and one of the most beautiful candles I've had. Well, it's not exactly a candle, but I call it a candle. Was fudge. from the Godfrey's restaurant. My God, those days they made the best food ever. And I remember some days, Daddy, I'm sure everybody knows, remembers my father, Roy Archer, and he was police at the police station, which is across. With Godfrey's was right across. So some days Daddy would take me on his day off, take me on his motorcycle, and we would have lunch together. And I remember for dessert he would ask me, Sandra, what would you like for dessert? And I would always tell him I want some fudge and I would like some chocolate cake and vanilla ice cream. Yes. So that's a wonderful memory as well. And I tell you something, I am sorry that I didn't beg those people for that fudge recipe. Such a memory.
I'm glad that you share that, because like you, me, many of us, we're now realizing that we knew we should have then, but we didn't. And as we go on, we're still all making the effort to cherish those memories with our children. We want to get excellent gifts for them, whatever that latest gadget is, that thing that we think that they would need or would want.
Right.
Fair enough. But there's those memories that you have, Doesn't matter all the other things that you've gotten since or gotten then. That time with family, you treasure that. And
yes.
I'm hoping that this Christmas, more than ever, we will make a very, very concerted effort to spend that time together.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We're meeting at Marco's house this Christmas, and
okay, what time should I be there? He's like, nobody invited you.
Do you know that he cooks the best turtle meat?
Okay, I was just about to ask you about recipes, right?
That.
But since you let the cat out of the bag, I've heard it whispered, so I'm gonna ask you about some recipes. But let's take this other caller. If your headset is comfortable again, let's go to the phones. We got Miss Sandra Archer. The only time I think where we should really have radio vision, this is it. Let's go to the phones. Say good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Sterling Dwayne.
Hey, how are you today?
My good friend Sandra.
Hi.
How was your day?
My day was awesome so far.
Amen, brother. Glad to hear that.
I took the day off today for this is the first in years.
Wow.
And went fishing with my son.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And let me tell you, it's like the song that Barefoot Man sing, never had a bad day of fishing yet.
What to say, a bad day fishing is better than a good day working, huh?
That's true.
Trust me, it was awesome.
Oh, man.
Wonderful.
Hey, thank God you were able to do that, and you deliberately made an effort to do it, man. So glad that you did it.
Yes, sir. We didn't catch anything, That's why I say never had a bad day of fishing yet, but
well,
I tell you, any day around that salt water is so refreshing.
That's right.
Yeah. Well,
and your son is left with such. He has such beautiful memories of you.
Yes,
That's right. Him and his daddy.
Yeah. Well, that's one out of the 4 sons.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was good.
Some people would say that's why you call it fishing, right?
So much.
That's why they call it fishing, not catching, right?
Right. Well, we got 3 strikes, and they actually took the hook clean off. So there were some big ones.
Wow. Well, we know that since you went fishing with your son, that you wouldn't be telling any tales. So, but I'm glad, as Andrew said, that you got out there, because too many of us think about it. We probably even have the boats on the trail in the yard or docked, in the backyard, and we don't go.
Yeah. Well, that was, you would say what that was about me, because I love going out in the salt water, but I was so caught up with work that I didn't make time for anything. And he called me about 3 weeks ago, and he said, Daddy, I am off from the 22nd, 23rd, something like that, 22nd. And he said, I want you to go fishing with me.
Awesome.
He said, take the 23rd off and let's go fishing.
Awesome, man.
So
Absolutely.
I did that.
Well, that's the best gift I think you could give each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But Sandra, you're bringing back great memories there, man. And
Thank you.
Goodness, the memories of your dad.
Oh, I know, Daddy.
Oh my goodness.
What an awesome man.
Yes, he was.
A beautiful person.
He was.
Honest, integrity. They don't have them like that anymore.
And you forget the best part of it, the jokes. Oh my goodness, Mr. Archer was a real comedian. I mean, he was awesome.
Yeah.
And
I know.
I have never seen him upset in my life.
No, he was. My father loved peace, but he was a very, he earned such respect from his officers, and that's because he was a man of integrity and he was honest. He had principles, morals, and he instilled all of that in us.
And not only that,
yeah.
He was a person that you could go and confide in.
Exactly.
And you never heard it anywhere else but in his head.
That's right.
He never said it to anybody.
That is right. Even I remember some of the people that he had to go and arrest. They told the police, I don't want anybody to arrest me except Mr. Archer.
Yeah.
And Daddy had to go, and he was so, he was such a beautiful, kind person. And, of course, he earned that respect. And for that, we have such, wonderful memories of him. And I miss him so much. Daddy.
Well, now back to the Christmas.
Yes, please. Of course.
Oh my goodness! I got my beef ready to cook now this evening.
I can smell it. You seasoned it up already.
Yeah.
Oh goodness!
That is ready to go in the oven this evening. Slow roasted.
Oh my God. Well, I'm sure that you are aware I became a widow this year.
Yes, yes, I did.
My husband passed in June, and I every Christmas he came with a roast. And so this year I'm not doing roast. Someone else in the family is doing it.
They're doing the roast, yeah.
Yes, but I must say that that is it evokes such beautiful memories of Christmas. Smelling beef Cayman style. No one cooks it like us. I don't care what kind of international chef you are.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere else.
Nope. And don't worry, the turkey too. Oh my goodness.
Listen, my sister Christine, oh my God, if she ever baked a turkey for you, you would never forget it. And my sister Denise, she's amazing on the cornbread. My brother Marco, he makes the best turtle.
I know Denny's cornbread. I've tasted that.
Oh God, she makes a mean roast beef as well. And
you know what you need to try from me? The macaroni and cheese.
Oh yes, yeah. I make a mean macaroni and cheese too.
Okay,
I'll tell you my secret ingredient in mine: the Scotch bonnet.
Oh goodness!
But you know what my secret ingredient is? My fork.
Scotch bonnet.
Sterling said his fork. Dwayne said his fork.
You would put down the fork and grab it by hand.
I didn't want to say that publicly, yeah.
Yes, and I have to say that my sister Brenda taught me how to do a roast. She told me you have to stuff it, Sandra, and leave it to just let all of the seasonings just, marinate. Yeah. And my sister Dorna, she is Caymanian cook too. To a T, she's amazing as well. All of my family can cook. I must say they're amazing. Marcel makes the best soup.
I'll tell you what. In the Brack, you have Sabrina's family, or the minister Sabrina now.
Oh yes.
In the Brack. Oh my goodness! If you taste their rice and peas, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. They're beautiful cooks. I have heard that. They are amazing cooks, and they bake the best cakes too. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
All right,
so
man.
I will leave you all there on that because I could go on all day talking about
Oh my God! And thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Before I go,
Yeah,
the
I'm
duff,
enjoying this.
have you all had the duff recently?
The what? The duff?
Duff.
No. Been a while. But
I tell you, that is awesome. I used to make it one time. I haven't made it in ages now.
I see. I called Darryl and asked your brother to make it.
Yeah.
Make it that way.
Anyway,
Merry
Thanks, man.
Christmas, my darling.
Blessings to you, man. Merry Christmas. So we have another call to take, Miss Susan. All right, let's go to the phones and good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. Good afternoon, Cassandra.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, folks? Hope you guys sound like you're enjoying your reminiscing.
Oh, we're having a good time. Thank you so much.
I'm enjoying it on this side, reminiscing, Cayman, old histories and everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
My mom, who is 81 years old, she said that nothing upsets her is to hear people say that they're cooking Cayman dish and they're spoiling it.
Yes.
Because that upsets her very much. She said, they won't say they're cooking a dish like Cayman, don't call it Cayman style.
Thank you. I agree with you.
All they're doing is destroying it. She said, we went somewhere a few months ago and someone was selling turtle meat and they were serving it with green peas.
Oh, God.
I called Cayman style. She said, no, this Cayman, you cook with green peas.
Oh, my goodness, not in turtle.
And she said turtle, and she said, and nothing upsets her. Like, you hear him talking about Cayman cassava cake. She said, Cayman cassava cake with condensed milk and cheese on top, that's not Caymanian.
Oh, dear Lord. No, that's something different. That's for sure.
But then they all called it, and they said they were the first ones that were making cassava cake before.
Oh, goodness. No.
I mean, that's for real much. She said, if you bring your nationality with you cook that for yours. You don't need to call Cayman stuff, but we don't need our culture tore up no more than they turn it up as it is.
Yeah, I agree. No. We have to keep that. That's sacred, and we have to keep that. We have to pass it down to ours, and they have to pass it down, to theirs.
Well, as we know, we're from West Bay, so we still got corn turtle West Bay. They're not telling people get corn turtle. We get corn turtle for Christmas.
Yes.
Oh, man. So good that we can, eh?
Real corn turtle, not no imitation. Not nobody bringing in and saying that it's their style.
Yes.
We want to wish you all a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year in case you don't get sick again.
You too, my darling.
Enjoy all your dishes and
yes.
everything.
Thank you, and thanks for calling, and God bless.
You too, Sandra. Thank you.
Thank you,
you're
man.
welcome.
Merry Christmas, man.
Okay.
All right, well, we've got to take another quick break, Miss Sandra. When we come back, I'll be asking our listeners. Stay tuned.
Captain Keith Parker Tibbetts, MBE, JP, 1916 to 1996. Captain Keith Tibbetts of Kimmenbrack, shipwright, sea captain, entrepreneur, businessman, farmer, hotelier, building contractor, airline agent, government auditor, and land adjudicator, was elected as a vestryman before he turned 30. He served 25 years in the Assembly of Magistrates and Vestry and its successor, the Legislative Assembly, becoming a life member of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. In 1962, Captain Keith presented a petition to Sir Kenneth Blackburn, Governor of Jamaica, signed by over 75% of the registered voters in the sister islands, stating that if Grand Cayman decided to remain under the governance of an independent Jamaica, Kimmenbrack and Little Cayman would separate from Grand Cayman and become a crown colony under the authority of the United Kingdom. In addition to receiving many awards for heritage preservation, tourism, and community service, Captain Keith was posthumously honored in 1996 when a Russian destroyer was sunk off the northwestern end of Kimmenbrack as a dive attraction and renamed the MV Captain Keith Tibbetts.
The technology sector is forecast to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next decade, with more jobs available than skilled people to fill them. Enterprise Cayman is helping to fill this void and grow the next generation of Caymanian innovators, giving young people access to high quality learning experiences with the opportunity to pursue careers in technology and innovation sectors. Learn to code, how product development works, enter professional competitions, access high tech resources, network with special economic zone industry professionals, and much, much more. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to find out more. Brought to you by Cayman Enterprise City.
More ways to win big this Christmas. The more you watch, listen, and stream your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win from thousands of prizes. Enter to win the grand prizes of US $10,000 cash, US $5,000 cash, or a Digicel family pack with 4 smartphones and free service for a year. Simply listen to your favorite Christmas carols in D Music, watch movies in Play Go, live sports in Sportsmax, or connect with friends in BIP and join BIP Rewards channel for daily prizes. Claim your guaranteed prize every Saturday. Shake to win in the My Digicel app today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
The Ministry of Education invites eligible Caymanians to apply for overseas government scholarships for the 2022-2023 academic year. To apply for an overseas government scholarship or learn more about the various scholarship programs, please visit the recently upgraded scholarship application portal at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Applications close on Monday, 31st of January, 2022.
We may be in Christmas shopping mode, but 'tis the flu season too. Savannah Pharmacy has immune system boosters for the entire family with a range of vitamins and supplements. Their knowledgeable and courteous pharmacists are always available to offer the best advice and products. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
A friendly holiday reminder. You can WhatsApp your Savannah Pharmacy prescription to 929-5045. That's 929-5045.
Brand Source is helping you get a load off this Christmas with 10% off all washers and dryers. Choose from top loaders, front loaders, compact laundry, laundry centers, and wash towers, all at 10% off. Shop the best in laundry appliances from Samsung, General Electric, LG, and commercial brands like Encore and Crossover. Save 10% now until December 24th on all washers and dryers. Only at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Call Brand Source at 623-5000.
This year, more than ever, Morant would like to simply but sincerely say thank you and best wishes for the holiday season.
20 years.
Remember when Crew Road had no median and Linford Pearson was only 2 lanes?
We do.
When Dirty Reeds was down the street?
We do.
We have been there for the falls, the growth, and the rise. When your body and mind needed to change, Powerhouse Gym has been here. We've skated with you. Your first date, your daughter's first time on skates, your son's first strike. From football to squash, to karate and hockey, to bowling and concerts, and everything in between.
For 20 years,
so much has changed, some for the good and some not so much. Through it all, King Sports Center has been here for you, for Cayman.
King Sports Center, celebrating 20 years as Cayman's home for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back, and thanks for joining us, and thanks to Sandra Archer for sitting with us. We do have a couple of callers as we reminisce about Christmas. Good afternoon and welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hi, good afternoon. A special good afternoon to my dear friend Sandra. It's so good to hear your voice on the radio. I haven't seen you in ages.
Oh, good afternoon, my darling. How are you?
Yeah, well, just in grief with Christmas and all of it. Anyway, all I can do is wish you a blessed Christmas.
Oh, well, you know, I too have that. experience and emotions to go through. But with God's help, we can be strong and make it, for the rest of our family.
It's so good to hear you talking about your mum and your daddy and all the good cooks.
Oh, yeah.
You have in your family, your mum and your dad, and you and all your sisters and
yes.
your brothers.
Oh,
you make me
yeah.
hungry.
I know.
I love all that good Cayman food.
Oh, girl, let me tell you.
You all cook some for me for Christmas.
Anytime you're ready.
and for reminding me about the good fudge from Godfrey's.
Oh, God, nothing beat that.
My precious sister Diana and my mother used to make the best fudge too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if Craig has that recipe and hiding it.
So. Diana didn't write on a recipe. She just made it.
Oh, goodness. I love fudge. I love fudge. Just Arlene.
Yeah. Oh, I love
Miss
it.
Arlene, yeah.
It is so good for you to be on the radio and to tell everybody about all the good memories you have of your parents, your wonderful parents.
Oh, yes. I miss them dearly.
Jesus,
yeah.
Especially your mummy.
Oh, yes. I love them both, and yes, of course, I know Mama, she shared so much with us, and Daddy also taught me how to wrap gifts for Christmas. Yeah, because we would go into one room and hide and wrap the gifts.
I can see him up the airport in his uniform now when I was working civil aviation in out town.
Yes. He was so handsome, wasn't he? I always thought my daddy was the best looking police officer.
Oh God, all of them look so handsome in their uniforms when they take them
yes.
off, like a fun person.
And Miss Arlene, those days Daddy did everything. Daddy was immigration officer, prosecutor, you name it, inspector, everything.
And it was all fun to him. He didn't make it get on his shoulders and bother him. He did it in a good way, in a good manner.
Didn't go to his head. He was so humble. Yeah.
Did it the right way.
Yeah, definitely.
Why your name says I did it my way.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like the security guards. I know some of them in their uniform, but when they see them at Boston or somewhere else and speak to me, I have to ask them who they are. I say,
yeah, it's
if
true.
you had a uniform, I would have known who you were, but I don't see your clothes.
Yeah, that is true, eh?
Yeah. Okay, darling. So nice talking to you and hearing you on the radio.
Arlene, thank you. Thank you for calling, sweetheart, and have a wonderful Christmas, okay?
I hope I'll see you somewhere soon because you must have been hiding.
No, just work on home.
Yeah, working home.
Darling. Take care.
God bless, Mom.
Take care, my darling. Love you.
Take care.
Okay.
So sweet. We do have another caller, though, Miss Sandra.
Okay.
Welcome. Good afternoon, and thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Hey, afternoon. How are you?
Dwayne.
Yes, Mom.
Sterling Ebanks.
Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Dwayne Ebanks.
Yeah.
Okay. I am calling because I just got a report.
Uh-oh.
Phone call.
Uh-oh.
And I answered, and a question was posed to me, and I quote, "Why aren't you on the radio?" I said, "Well, what's going on the radio? Turn your radio on and then call me back."
Okay.
So I turned my radio on because I have to confess, I've been following this case, and I was watching that, and I put an appointment, so I was trying to squeeze all the time. And then they had just had breaking news saying that there's a verdict. And it was just time for me to get up now and get ready to keep my appointment. So I turned the radio on and I heard this familiar voice.
It wasn't mine, right?
There were two voices.
It was Dwayne's voice, Brenny.
And then I said, well, is this a telephone thing? Or anyway, I had to listen a bit before I could, decide what was going on. And then I heard names being called out, recipes and so on, and I don't know what I missed. I happened to hear a little piece about me teaching somebody to do a roast.
Uh-oh.
And about who does the best this and the best that. Anyway, now I can call the person back and say to them, the reason I'm not on the radio, obviously, is where boons are not provided, dogs don't get invited. So I just want you to know that that's my takeaway. And I want to add something in case this wasn't said when they were talking about the recipes, and not to my own horn. my specialty is the Caymanian macaroni pudding.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. She makes the best. Nobody beats her. The best. Hardly anyone in the family can touch it. I'm telling you, it's the best.
And I just want to add, I'm really proud of Sandra having the nerve to come on the radio. She always talks to me about it. And so many times when I call in, because I guess they're tired of me.
Not at all. No, never.
People calls her, or they'll come and say to her, oh, I heard you on the radio, I agree with you, or you did good, or, you know, you got to do that some more, blah, blah, blah. Immediately she says, no, that wasn't me, that was my sister. Everybody swears that we have identical voices, and there's a place on Island, maybe I'll give them a little shout out, the Book Nook. Every time I call there, the lady says, oh, hi, Sandy, how are you? and so. Then, she's taking my order and stuff, and I give her, she said, oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry. She said, I thought you were Sandy. He's my friend. And do you know who I said, ma'am, would you be, by any chance, speaking about Sandra Archer? My friend Sandy. I said, well, I can understand. I said, we're sisters. Oh, you sound identical. But then she starts apologizing. And I said, no. I said, actually, that's my big sister. And you don't hear this very often. I said, but I consider that a compliment. And you know what I can't get over either? I spoke to Sandra earlier. She didn't mention to me she was coming on the radio with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Brenna, because I wanted to surprise everybody in the family.
How was I going to be surprised if I didn't know I should turn on my radio?
But you always have it on.
Anyway, I don't know whether you told them or not about the tradition that we had in our home, that it obviously was a tradition for him, that the turkey was done Christmas Day, and whatever was left of the skeleton, because please remember, now you had 8 children and parents, now for this turkey, so there wasn't a lot left. But Dad always saved the skeleton of the turkey, and it was a tradition that on Boxing Day he made a big turkey soup. And then when it came to New Year's, he did the ham, and then the day after he always did a ham soup, I can call it, with the split peas, and what was left of the ham bone and stuff is what was put in that soup.
Yeah.
Well, in our home for many years. And maybe Sandra has told you already about when we were younger now, and you know, during the year we would see Mama preserving her old stockings. Couldn't figure out what this was all about because they were being boiled and washed, and would come home with the dye, and they would be dyeing these stockings. And then come Christmas Eve, you know, we were told, oh, we got to go to bed, or Santa's not coming. Anyway, later on we figured out that the reason we had to go to bed was because now they were going to stuff our stockings. And those days when you got apples, you always knew if an apple was in the house. It didn't matter how much they hid it.
Smell it.
The aroma, yeah.
And then we woke up in the morning, every one of us had a stocking hanging at the side of our beds. And I swear it was the smell of the apples that woke you up because it was so strong. One thing I always remember about those stockings, and until this day, and now I'm a grandmother, I don't know if you remember these square caramel candies. They came wrapped in plastic. The stockings always had those in. And I love those candies until this day.
And the Paradise Plum candies, Brenny.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the mint balls.
Yes, and the mint balls.
And I can remember each girl got, depending on their age, they got Jackson balls. And the little set with the jacks and the balls. You remember that?
Yeah, we played jacks.
And the boys got marbles. And these were the stuffings now. And Andre being the first boy, of course, he was older. So I remember the first year he got a slingshot. because he was able now to handle his slingshot. And then I remember Dad is teaching him how to use the slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the younger boys, Marcel and Marco, because of course they couldn't handle a slingshot, they got you remember those little matchbox cars?
Yeah.
And of course, Andrew wanted them because from a young age he was very fascinated with cars and motorbikes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then eventually Andrew collected them. I don't know what he ever did with them, but that was something he was very, very fascinated with. But just to wrap it up and say, because I'm going to be late for my appointment and they might cancel me, but my best memories of Christmas, and that's one of the reasons that I don't really celebrate Christmas the way most people do, but my very best memories of Christmas was being with my two parents and just seeing, because Dada was more of the Santa person, and seeing the way that all the effort that was put into making Christmas for us.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's right.
And, you know, as I'm sure Sandra has said, you know, you couldn't have asked for a better father than our father. And I'm not leaving my mother out of this now. I'm just speaking about my father.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Things that he taught us, you know, principles that we still live with today.
Yes.
And my mother being the Caymanian, she taught us, you know, everything that I guess she thought we needed to know, all the traditions and everything. And one thing I always admire and will remember about my father is that he just went along with that because he was now in Cayman. He wanted to learn the Caymanian way as well and to help pass that on to us.
Yeah.
He didn't, you know, contradict to say, no, I want them to learn. We just picked up certain things from him because, you know, obviously that was his tradition. So I guess what we didn't realize is that we were learning two things at the same time. You know, so...
That's a wonderful merger.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just to say that our mother was loved by all who knew her. Everybody thought that our mother was a little angel. What they didn't know was a little devil she was to us.
Discipline.
And then everyone loved our father and held him in such high esteem. And his job as a police officer, I suspect, was so successful apart from his own attributes and what he brought to the table, but it was just the way he did it. He wasn't aggressive, he wasn't abusive, he was by the law, and he was successful because people saw him that way, and people in the community trusted him, and they would tell him things, and back then, people in the community assisted the police in upholding the law. So,
it was a good partnership with the community and the police, huh?
That's right. And unfortunately, we don't have that anymore.
Oh, no.
And my daddy always said, we are hiring Caymanians. We can train them. He did not believe in hiring outsiders for the police. He said, we will hire Caymanians. That's what he said. So on that note, I'm gonna sign off, but I'll turn my radio on while I'm getting ready for my appointment.
All right. Well,
all right, Brenny. Thanks for calling in.
See you later. God bless one.
Okay.
Right, take care.
Bye.
You know, and this is where, like both of you share. Yeah, of course. I keep it on to keep my hair in place.
Yeah.
But as we celebrate Christmas, we're reminded of our parents, and like you said, you know, your mother was the best cook. And I think for us, for most of us, you know, it's the love that the parents put into the food. We know that they went and they consciously and deliberately, with love, brought it to the table, you know.
Yeah.
And we pass that on to our children. You talked about, you know, your son, but your siblings as well.
Yeah,
cooking.
that's right.
And Christmas, if anything, especially now, we meet with our family and our friends.
Yeah, that's right.
And we invite them over and we celebrate together. And we love one another. I mean, no man is promised tomorrow.
That's right.
We know not the hour nor the day, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Now, you know, as much time as you would like this here, but I know you have, like the rest of us, like you say, work to home to work.
I leave at 2.
You leave at 2?
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah. We will just quickly, perhaps take a break, Miss Susan, and let our guests go to the makeup and spa and, the hairdress. Just kidding. We're going to pause and take a break. When we come back, we invite you to share with us. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Merry Christmas from A.L. Thompson's. Go electric this year with electronic gifts that are fun for the whole family. Add accessories to a massive 4K HD TV like a Fire Stick, a soundbar, and wireless headphones. Up your game with Xbox console bundles. Think security with a Ring video doorbell and a time-lapse video camera. Then take the fun outside with drones and speakers. It's all fun, and nobody does Christmas like A.L. Thompson's.
Savannah Pharmacy. Shop local and get a head start on your Christmas shopping. For ladies' handbags, clothes, shoes, fragrance, candles, and cosmetics with the newest Farmhouse Fresh line of skincare. For the gentlemen, clothes, shoes, fragrances, gift sets, and toys and games for the kids. Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs. And convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
A friendly holiday reminder. You can WhatsApp your Savannah Pharmacy prescription to 929-5045. That's 929-5045.
The way we travel has changed. Get informed. If you plan to travel or anticipate the arrival of others to our shores, there's information you need to know. Visit www.explore.gov.ky/travelcayman for current travel protocols and guidance on what's required. Learn more by visiting www.explore.gov.ky/travelcayman.
You see how hard it's raining?
Yeah, and I don't have time to fight traffic and get my lunch from Subway. I have so much work to do.
Why don't you order Subway by using the Let's Eat or Bento app? Save time, stay dry, and get your sandwich fast.
I never thought of that. Great idea. I'm going to order now.
Order me a veggie pizza while you're at it.
And a cookie platter for the office.
Too busy at work or home? Is the rainy weather stopping you from dining out? Order your favorite Subway sandwich, wrap, or pizza through the Let's Eat or Bento app with fast and reliable delivery. Subway, eat fresh.
CUC reminds you to always be aware of power lines. Electricity can be very dangerous. It cannot be seen, but it can be lethal. Do not loosen or come into contact with the guy wires or guy rods at the base of poles. These guy wires and rods are marked with a yellow plastic covering. Damage to these wires and rods can result in service interruptions or injuries to the public. Safety first at CUC.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Please be advised that the pension contribution holiday has been extended until 31st of March, 2022. Employers and plan members should ensure arrangements are in place for salary deductions and remittance following this date. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, keeping you informed. For further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We're here for you.
'Tis the season of love and cheer. Among the greatest gifts that you can share are long overdue embraces with family and friends. At this time and throughout the year, there's comfort in knowing you have access to quality healthcare. At Health City, we thank you for trusting us to be here for you and your loved ones. Remember, there's world-class healthcare within your reach. From our family to yours, we wish you a happy Christmas and wonderful New Year.
Shop at Funky Tanks, the home of electronics and more. Make sure to check out Funky Tanks' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside, Savannah, for loads of fireworks for your Christmas and New Year's celebrations. Also, new stock has just arrived. Funky Tanks, both locations, open 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., December 20th to December 23rd. And on Christmas Eve, open 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Open 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., December 29th and 30th. New Year's Eve, open 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Funky Tanks. For more information, call 949-0998. Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year from the management and staff of Funky Tanks.
Talk today.
but I do have some questions.
Talk today. Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. And as Miss Sandra Archer sits with us again and shares some of her favorite and perhaps fondest memories, please, Miss Sandra, not to worry. It's Christmas. The only thing missing now is that cornbread and turtle meat and some of that macaroni pudding. Maybe Miss Brenda might send me some.
Yes, she made that every year.
Yeah. What are
delicious. Absolutely.
I was just thinking as we were talking about recipes and foods and the sides and the means and all, like, I don't know if it's just the food. I think it's the preparation of it. It's the coming together. And just think of getting the beef, for instance, and even the cassava cake.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
To prepare it. Yeah.
And doing that, hopefully, it's something we still do, and not that it's just a chore, that we're doing it together.
A labor of love.
A labor of love.
Yes. When I cooked for my my late husband and my son, it was all a labor of love. I taught them both how to cook, and because I love to cook.
I was thinking of that earlier, and I know that even today, we were talking about, we're so advanced and we're so progressive and so on, and yet there's this perception that men don't know how to cook, right? You just shared that not just your brothers, but your father, was a cook. You instructed your son and husband, your husband. I'm happy in the kitchen, so are my brothers and my father, and, it's a face that you love when you come, but this time of year, join those that like to cook, and learn a thing.
And most Caymanian men are fantastic cooks.
Yeah, the two places that we're good at.
I'm telling you,
kitchen, and the garage.
They know how to prepare the garage. But true, they know how to make a good mess in the garage, right?
I see.
They
but I know, and I thank you for allowing yourself to take an extended time away from work and share with us. There were a couple of things. I think Miss Susan had a voice note that we wanted to play in a second, and we got a caller who messaged in as well.
Okay.
So I went to get it. I just want to maybe read this one to us quickly, right, while she pulls up the voice note. This one says, it says this interview and discussion is refreshing and enjoyable. Sandra's walk down memory lane is so fitting for this season, and it's good. That is now the voice note, Miss Susan. Let's put on your headset, Miss Sandra, and we'll listen to it. For those who are joining us, it's 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Let's listen.
Brenda, I'm listening to you and Sandra and Sterling. It is so true. Those caramel candies, you could go Mr. Birdie's and get all you wanted from him. And about the Godfrey's fudge, when I used to work by right, that's where our lunch spot. And I remember they used to credit us our lunches and gave us our ice cream and chocolate cake and that fudge, and we would take that back to the store with us. They were days. You all have a Merry Christmas, everyone in Radio Cayman, and to your families from the McField family.
Well, I thank that listener for listening, but also for taking, the time and share with us. We want everybody to have a very blessed, safe, Merry Christmas. And it's not easy for everybody, but like you just shared, your parents, your father, like many of us as parents and many of our parents, they've really made a concerted effort to make Christmas special for us. But it must have been hard for them financially, that to balance all the other things plus this other thing.
Yes.
So maybe now as a tribute to them and as an appreciation for that sacrifice, let's step back and let's sit and fellowship. And if you got, 50 pounds of turtle meat, or, you want to
share.
Just share what you have.
Exactly.
And love and be thankful that we are alive.
Yeah.
I mean, the world is in a mess because of politicians and greed of corrupt business people.
Very sad.
And that's everywhere.
Yeah.
But we're all human.
Yes.
A little humanity, a little humility, bring great honor.
Correct.
And I think everybody would quickly say that your father was a man of integrity, as you've said, but he exhibited that. And as we talked about him in his past, and we say the same things while he was alive. He was that man.
Yes.
He is that example.
Definitely. And he set the foundation for us. And but I'd like to say thank you as well to that lady that left the voice note. I didn't recognize her voice, but thank you so much. It's I really, really appreciate everyone that's calling in, and just to let you all know, this is my first time on Radio Cayman, and I am having a blast with Dwayne.
And maybe a little confession too. She wasn't sure that, I don't know, I'm going to decide not to come today. But no.
Yes, and I'd like to also thank you to my boss, Sherilyn Soto, for giving me the time as well, and a big shout out to my employers and
that's the thing. People
say hi to my colleagues as well.
People don't get it sometimes that lunch, not only are we interrupting our lunch schedule, and for some of us, that's important, right? And it's important to get food, not just for the sustenance, but the employers, and sometimes you are the employer, you take yourself away. So to Michelle and the team over Beacon, thanks very much, because we're here not just trying to talk amongst ourselves, but to encourage.
Ashley Furniture.
Yeah, thank you. I said Beacon.
Beacon. That's okay. We have one coming again.
Okay.
We have one,
Thank you for
on the
on
the horizon.
Yeah. Well, see how I remember. Short term,
you have a good memory.
Yeah, I remember that time when Susan said something about tamarind switch. So I behaved.
Oh my goodness! Listen, we felt the tamarind switch.
No, but
we were disciplined. But listen, that made men and women out of us.
Yeah.
Maybe some people see it as a different perspective, but it made men and women out of us today.
I think where was a striking difference, and I don't say that lightly. Our parents discipline in love.
Yeah.
They said, never discipline in anger, and they allowed you to think about your sort of missteps, as it were, and they corrected you.
Well, that's what they knew. That's what they knew, because that's how they were brought up. And so they instilled in us what they were taught. And that's what I always, say today, that we thank them. I mean, I never ever saw me swiping my son with a tamarind switch.
I couldn't find one.
But at the end of the day, he was a good boy. He was.
But he has a good mother.
I never had to do that.
But that's you learn, right? And maybe in the interest of time and respecting that you need to get back to work, like you told our earlier caller, is from work to home to work to home, right?
That's it. Yeah.
What are some of the things?
And church. Make it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
What are some of the things you want, for Christmas, your wishes, and what do you maybe want to share with our listeners? Because it is hard for many of us to put on a smile every day, to look and be as positive and as appreciative as we want to be.
Exactly.
Because life isn't always,
Right.
Like I say,
it's not easy.
His life is a bed of roses, and just that they took off the petals.
Yeah, it's true. I sort of summed up life as a rose with thorns. That's how I look at life. A rose with thorns. Life is beautiful, but you have your trials, your tribulations. But at the end of the day, you can fall down, but get back up. Because once you keep your faith in God, and He's there with you all the way, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how I live my life. That's how I get my strength.
You know, we, those of us who went to high school, as it was called then, their motto was hold fast that which is good.
Exactly.
Right? And I don't think sometimes that as a nation we appreciate, hopefully, it's not about religion, it's about relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we look at Cayman Airways and, you know, on it, we have something that is important that seemingly wants to be replaced by some cartoon character at some point. And we have on our coat of arms and within our, you know, scripture. And I think that should not only be indicative of the value system that we have, but should be continually inculcated in us as a people, so that the ethos of, you know, having integrity, of having a strong scriptural foundation, of being people of honor and humility, you know, will bring about that sense of respect that we have for others as we have for ourselves, you know. And I'm hoping that people will start to get that increasingly.
Exactly.
You know, what's important for us to do.
Right.
And then maybe, you know, we'll make it. We'll make it there at some point. Yes. So your wish, if there was a wish that you could wish for, what would you wish upon?
Oh goodness, you know, I was thinking about that last night.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish we could get rid of COVID and all that it stands for, all the negative things that it comes with, you know. People are hurting, you know, this year in Cayman. Alone, we've lost so many friends from COVID. We didn't see that coming. And it's very sad. You know, even though we're all getting ready for Christmas and this great anticipation, you know, we think of those that has lost as well.
Mm-hmm.
That has lost families from COVID, and I just would love to see the world being cleansed of this awful plague, and I wish everybody happiness, good health.
Right.
I wish everybody a good, you know, beautiful Christmas dinner with their families. And I just wish for peace, happiness, not only for us but for the entire world.
Amen.
And to thank God because we have so much. That's my wish.
Thank you for that, Ms. Arnold. That's a wonderful wish. And to you, your son, siblings, to the grandchildren, and the wider community, you know, our prayers for a healthy, blessed, safe, you know, enjoyable Christmas and New Year. And I hope to be able to see you often, you know, as we, not necessarily, I won't impose on you to join us on the air, but
I love
you
it
so much.
Anytime you want me, I'll come.
Thank you, Mom. And thank you too for, you know, over the years, for always being such a wonderful person. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. And, you know, I just want to say that, I just would like to say this. I'm a Caymanian. I'm a proud Caymanian. I love my culture. I love my heritage. I love all of our traditions. I love our food. To me, no one in the world can cook like us. And for that, I'm so happy that I taught my son. And he can pass it down, you know. And my grandson was very excited when I taught him how to make breakfast. And he came and he made me breakfast so many mornings with his little pancake, eggs, and ham. And he was really excited over it, you know.
See, you train him up, you know.
Oh, yeah. You have to train him. And my granddaughter is also learning how to cook. That's very exciting.
Well, you're still youthful, so you'll have, you know, another century, if not two, to be with them. So God bless you.
Yeah, 21, right?
Well, I say 25, but you know.
Dwayne, I'd like to take this moment right now to thank you for having me on your show. And like I said, I wanted to surprise my family. I wasn't sure how it would turn out, so I didn't want to be embarrassed by them listening to me and say, oh my God, what is Sandra doing? And Miss Susan, as always, she's absolutely beautiful and wonderful and knows her job like no one else.
There you go.
And I thank her as well for welcoming me here. And I look forward to more of this in the future.
Yes, well, I would love that.
Have a wonderful day, my darling, and you all have a wonderful and blessed Christmas with your families.
Thank you, my dear. Okay. All right, let's pause and take the break, go to our news. When we come back, I'll see if I can entice Susan to sing. I know she can. She's a poet. Maybe she'll sing for us. We'll see. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. The Cayman Islands Health Services Authority advises its patients and visitors of the following Christmas holiday hours. The General Practice Clinic is open 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. December 24th and December 31st. It's closed Christmas Day and Boxing Day, open December 27th 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., closed December 28th and New Year's Day, open January 3rd, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and the Public Health Clinic is closed Christmas Day, Boxing Day, December 27th and 28th, New Year's Day, and January 3rd. December 24th and 31st, it closes early at 1 p.m. In international news, people catching Omicron are 50% to 70% less likely to need hospital care compared with previous variants. The UK Health Security Agency says its early findings are encouraging, but the variant could still lead to large numbers of people in hospital. It also shows the vaccine's ability to stop you catching Omicron starts to wane 10 weeks after a booster dose. Scientists have compiled the world's oldest family tree from human bones, interred at a 5,700-year-old tomb in the Cotswolds, UK. Analysis of DNA from the tomb's occupants revealed the people buried there were from 5 continuous generations of one extended family. The right to use the site was based on descent from one man. A prototype lickable TV screen which can mimic food flavors has been developed by a Japanese professor, Reuters reports. Dubbed Taste the TV, 10 canisters spray flavor onto a hygienic film, which is rolled over the screen for the viewer to lick. A professor suggested it would be used to train cooks or sommeliers remotely. If made commercially, the TV would cost $875, he estimated. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Are you planning a social, an office party, or event over the holiday season? Make the most of your holiday party and leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway Box to Go with the option of a 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. Cater your holiday parties with Subway. Visit subway.ky for menu options. Subway, eat fresh.
We may be in Christmas shopping mode, but 'tis the flu season too. Savannah Pharmacy has immune system boosters for the entire family with a range of vitamins and supplements. Their knowledgeable and courteous pharmacists are always available to offer the best advice and products. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
A friendly holiday reminder. You can WhatsApp your Savannah Pharmacy prescription to 929-5045. That's 929-5045.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us. And thanks too to Miss Sandra Archer, for, as our sister shared, for having the courage to come on. I know for many of us, we are workers and we are doers, and we can talk as well as walk the walk. But sometimes publicly and in spaces like this, we're a bit reluctant. I think that's for many reasons, but it's also that sort of reserve that we have within us. Well, I always encourage her because I think she does a great job. If you follow her on social media, you see the great postings of her, can I say probably her clouds in particular. I like the images, the sunsets, the images of Old Cayman. And if you've been around for any time, like 5 minutes or the like, you see and heard her many poems, over the decades. So Miss Susan has been gracious. She's authored and voiced another poem. It's premiering now, so you can gather around. You don't need to get a popcorn, but you can, if you're, so privileged, and maybe you have a piece of cassava cake in hand. And as we listen to this poem, Miss Susan, you want to introduce it, or as we hear it and then we talk about it after? Could I encourage you to talk about it maybe after? Let's listen to first. All right.
Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you? Merry Christmas.
I'm handsome. I'm helpful.
Yeah, it's a poem entitled Cayman Islands Christmases of Long Ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was written in 2 days by yours truly.
And that means Susan, not me. All right, so we're going to listen to it. It's premiering now. We should have like a proper intro. Premiering now on Radio Cayman. Susan's latest rendition of Cayman Christmases of Long Ago.
Lend me your ears, you hear? Because I got some recollections of Cayman Islands Christmases of long ago. These customs and traditions we all hold close in our hearts. Everybody played their part, from whitewashing to painting the house to backing that pretty white sand in a ground basket, sack or pail. This not no ordinary tale. Houses decked out with new curtains, bedspreads, tablecloths, furniture dusted and figurines well shine up. Moonlight romances to kitchen dances. The greater handmade drum, fiddle and maracas causing a sweet ruckus. Folks crammed tight, killing dance to the beat and the heat of the morning sun. Boy, it was lots of fun. Selecting willow, juniper bush or sessile trees from the land, placing them in a paint can with some sand. Decorations hanging from the tree like thatch, pine cone ornaments with foil. Nothing hardly spoil, because we Caymanians were very resourceful. We would use what we had and made do with what we got and did without what we couldn't afford. Life was hard, but we were satisfied. Thank the Lord. Butchering the cow, engaging local beef, pork or turtle for that tasty Christmas feast with rice and beans and bread kind, topped off with heavy cakes, fruit cake, swanky, sorrel and eggnog. We ate so much, heavy like a log, that we couldn't even take a message. Nigritis bite us. Way back we would bury cassava in the ground or under the house to use it later. Many mouths were fed from the old iron and Dutch pot on the caboose or from the outside kitchen. Kindness galore and good cheer was everywhere. Nobody went sleep hungry. Marching the street, singing Christmas carols. The sound was so sweet from all those instruments. Going from house to house, everyone happy with smiles as wide as a 7-mile beach. Hope this message is clear and it reach. So once again, let me tiptoe back into the Cayman Christmases of yesteryear. The scent of apples at Christmas time in the shops was a sure delight. The decorative Christmas lights, as well as the flavor of the Caymanian-style beef spreading in the air, hitting your nose straight to your belly. Boxes of Christmas cards mailed out, and the ones received hanging in the house on a line. You must remember paying down on new clothes at the store, buying fabrics in galore, dropping them off at the seamstress or tailor, and then sporting the finished outfit on Christmas Day. And I hear what I say, because that's how it was in the Cayman Islands back in the day. I got some more Cayman Christmases of long ago that will surely jog your memory, such as flipping through the catalogs like Montgomery Ward, Walter Field, National Bella Hess, and Sears to check out the latest styles in clothing. Then we would send a letter to our dads at sea to bring back that ready-made outfit for that special event. The leaves from the old Cadillac adorn our walls, using flour and water as a paste. We would make nothing waste. As Christmas Day loom, people on Christmas Eve morning spreading the piles of white sand in the front yard, using the rosemary broom, gravel footpaths to the front door with conch shell border. I mean, nothing was out of order. Not even a leaf you could find in that Sunday yard. Folks would attend church in their Sunday best, using grape tree leaves, fanning away the mosquitoes and sandflies. But through the window, a burst of cool Christmas breeze. I'm sure you remember those Christmas church concerts, which was the highlight of the season. Children reciting poems aloud, making us all proud, as we remember the real reason for the celebration. What a sight it was to see handmade kites flying in the sky to the cool Christmas breeze, maypole quadrille dancing, to climbing the grease pole, gig spinning, knocking some dominoes, enjoying a reel to the music from the local band. And we cannot forget in Cayman Brack, Miss Alame's all day, all night Christmas dances. Boy, that were fun. Gifts around Christmas time was simple, and we gleefully accepted hand-sewn dolls, small wooden toy cars, fire rackets, sparklers, sweet candies, Chinese fire rackets, snap poppers, and more that fill our sock stockings. Poinsettia blossoms in a vase, children anticipating the arrival of Santa Claus. You remember he would arrive by plane and then go on the back of a truck parading through the island, giving gifts and throwing out candies. And when they land in your hand, it was pure excitement and joy for every girl and boy. We cannot forget the store shops back then, full to the brim with items and provisions, be it clothing, food, or supplies in Grand Cayman, such as H.O. Merrin and Company stores, Mr. Malley store, Mr. Spurgeon, Mr. Prentice shop, BB and Uncle Doll shops, Stafford ice cream shop, John Hill, Comart, Clinton shop, Kirk Plaza, and you can't forget Rose Variety store and Naomi Flower shop, Willie Bodden shop, By-Right Batter Shoe shop, and heaps more, too numerous to mention. In Cayman Brack Tip Mart, BB Grant Taylor shop. Yeah, I can see now sitting between two stone walls, between Edith Dunbar and Vera House, Mr. Donald's, the Carters Haberdashery, Winston and Camilla shop, Ed and Gwyn Hayes, Miss Lurley's shop, Percy and Miss Lurleen's shop. We can't forget the supermarket at the Creek, Pioneer Bakery, Nolan Foster store, L&M Superstore, Tibbetts Enterprises, Mr. Billy's store, and Captain Clyde and Zina's store. Aye boy, those were the days. You remember them all-year night antics of putting old items in the road, turning over Mr. So-and-so outhouse with him in it, and playing old tricks on a few. We Caymanian folks love a good time with plenty of jokes and laughter. We would listen to WGBS and Radio Cayman, sending requests to Cracker Jim. We cannot forget the garden parties, regattas, catboat races, Nor'Wester magazine, and Christmas Nor'Westers back then that seemed cooler and lasted much longer. You must remember later down in the years, various churches holding watch night services to welcome in the new year. The Cayman Islands Christmases of long ago was so beautiful, meaningful, and always brought us lots of happiness from season to season. Sharing, caring, people would sit and reason, children playing games in the yard like hide and go seek, spread the carpet and rounders. All were welcome, but you better not dare pass the threshold without taking off your shoes or brushing your foot at the front door. I hope I will pass on these revelations of Cayman Islands Christmases of long ago to the younger generation. This preservation of Caymanian culture and traditions must be valued and shared with everyone because it's part of the Caymanian identity. So on a try taking what I say because it's deep rooted in our DNA. Thanks for lending me your ear, your hair. I wish you and yours peace, love, and joy. A Merry Cayman Christmas full with kindness, and make sure you sprinkle it right through the whole year.
And that was our very own Cayman Brack, born and raised, Grand Cayman, appreciated and celebrated, and a Radio Cayman's icon, Miss Susan P. Watson. Now, Susan, I know many of us know your great talent. Writing poetry for you. Do you know when you started?
Yeah, I believe I started when I was like 16.
So like 2 years ago? Oh, so you're relatively new. Okay.
No, not quite.
16, huh?
Yeah, 16, writing some poetry. And I remember when I applied to Radio Cayman, I did some poetry for Mr. Banks and Mr. Dorian Miller to listen to. I wonder if Mr. Banks got that in the Wattle Vault.
The Wattle Vault?
I wonder if he got that tape.
I'm pretty sure he does. On a reel-to-reel somewhere.
Yeah. But poetry always fascinated me. Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, I know many of us, like my mother would write a lot. But thankfully you have not only written it down, have, you know, got it put aside somewhere, but you've gone another step now and recorded it. Because a lot of her stuff, like many, just, you know, we don't write it down, or we write it down but we discard it. Even, you know, the little bit that I would write down again. My daughter gave me something some years ago and I've started to record some of it. But I asked that so that it would encourage more of us to, you know, look at it. It may be an interest, it may be a gifting that we have yet to tap, but you do phenomenal. I mean, we know the music.
And, you know, I haven't written a poem in years. And just something just inspired me. I think I had a show on the Business Buzz. We had some folks come in and talk about Cayman Islands, Christmases of long ago. And when I did that program, I said, you know what, that would make a great poem. Yeah, the title alone. And then, you know, I just got inspired about, I think 2 days ago, And I said, you know, because poetry is funny, you know. It doesn't just come to you like that. You have to be inspired.
Yeah.
And one of the things that say we made do with what we had, and that line there, I didn't write that, you know. That came from God, because I was asleep and I woke up like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I just wrote it down. Something just told me to write that paragraph down, and I said, you know what? And then that kind of triggered the other writings, and I said, you know what? Maybe God is telling me something. Write this down. Let's preserve this Cayman traditions and even in word.
Yeah, I like how you had that, because we were grateful for what we had. We didn't covet what we didn't.
Yeah, that line came from God.
Yeah.
I didn't write that. Yeah. That's the one that I woke and just wrote it down. I was like, whoa.
Well, at least you were smart enough and disciplined enough to listen. Because many of us don't. We don't listen to our earthly parents. We don't listen to our heavenly other as well, right? But also from what you've shared, you know, if you are in that creative space, be prepared to record, you know, what our thought process, you know, pen and paper, or if you're using your digital device, write it down. So I'm sure we'll hear some more inspirational poetry from you, hopefully soon.
Yes, and we're going to take a break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to hear a few messages from our sponsors and other businesses.
Okay.
So we'll be right back after this.
Kirk Freeport's $40,000 Christmas sweepstakes is back. Once again, simply spend $100 at your favorite Kirk Freeport store, and you could win one of 3 $5,000 cash prizes, one of 5 $1,000 cash prizes, and many other great prizes throughout December. All purchases of $100 before noon on Christmas Eve qualify for all remaining prize draws. And don't forget the annual Kirk Freeport Rolex watch prize draw for all entries, held on January 4th. Full details on KirkFreeport.com. Merry Christmas from everyone at Kirk Freeport.
Jingle bell, pick up your feet. Christmas shopping at Le Classic cannot be beat. Quality style, luggage and leather, shoes that make you feel like you're walking on feathers. So step on in before stepping out. Come see what your friends are all talking about. We're here at the Strand, it's the season of cheer. Christmas time is here.
Merry Christmas from Le Classique. Come see us in the Strand, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Shop at Funky Tanks, the home of electronics and more. Make sure to check out Funky Tanks' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside, Savannah, for loads of fireworks for your Christmas and New Year's celebrations. Also, new stock has just arrived. Funky Tanks, both locations, open 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., December 20th to December 23rd. And on Christmas Eve, open 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Open 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., December 29th and 30th. New Year's Eve, open 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Funky Tanks. For more information, call 949-0998. Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year from the management and staff of Funky Tanks.
It's the holiday season and time to be merry, cherry, and bright. And nothing feels better than giving to your favorite local charity. This season, take an extra minute or two to make sure your charity is a registered non-profit with the Cayman Islands government. You can find the list of registered non-profit online at ciregistry.ky. We'd hate to see your money end up in the wrong hands, and we're sure you do too. So keep giving, Cayman. Just double check who you're giving to. A message from the Registrar of Non-Profit Organizations.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. And thanks for joining us. And thanks too for Miss Susan for premiering her latest, poetry. Thanks so much for sharing that. And poem, a bit. It is, I think, from what you just shared. Hopefully, it will inspire others to write now. Maybe write down, record, and maybe for a good reason. Use these digital devices that we seem to be tethered to for a good thing. Maybe record our parents and grandparents. Maybe even record ourselves and look at the treasured memories. Ask about the things of yesteryear. Look at where we are now and see if it's not just for posterity. See if it can inspire us now that when we go into tomorrow, the day after today, into next year, that we live very positive, nurturing, encouraging lives that serve as examples to others. Lives that embody a sense of integrity, a strong ethos that would, without question, indicate a person, with an ethical, moral, grounded compass. Many times I think that we fail to be that example to others as we're trying ourselves to look for an example that we could follow. Well, maybe if we are the example, then someone would have something to look to. And we might find that in that person who is being an example. Not always easy, without question. Life is sometimes fast and furious. It'll come at you hard, it'll come at you fast. Gives you in your mind a lot more than you think you can endure. But you may not be able to embrace it. But rest assured, God will not give you more than you can handle. So you can endure it. You're strong, you're resilient, you're a person of resolve. You have what it takes to persevere. So just press on. And as we go into Christmas, tomorrow for some, it's not just Christmas Eve. We're mindful that they have a lot of work to do in preparation for the rest of us who are in the spirit of festivities and gift giving. For those of us who expect the reports to be ready by the end of the year, and all these things. So that added pressure and stress that they may be feeling could be because of us. So can we step back a bit and see if we can offer up some help and encouraging words instead of hindering, hurting, or harming others? Let's see if we can be helpful. And if we can, well, recognize that the least we can do is show love, because in that would be one of the greatest things. And if we can be kind and considerate, then perhaps that person's day doesn't have to be any worse. Now, a few minutes left of today's show, and we want you to hopefully be a part of it tomorrow. God's will, we will be as well. But any thoughts from our listeners, whether it's a wishing of Merry Christmas, whether it's a reminder of certain things, maybe there's something happening now that you think needs to be shared. 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255. And as you celebrate your traditions, whether you are, in your mind, a Caymanian, whose ancestral roots go back generations after generation after generation, or you've only been here for 10 years or 40 years, or maybe you've only been here for 10 months. If this is where we are, let's celebrate together. Be mindful that from whence we cometh, we also bring much with us. And so embrace that as well. But one doesn't need to supersede the other. Certainly doesn't need to suppress, but we can find a way to merge and to meld so that we come together. It's like a good buffet, you know. The family comes together, as many of our families will do over Christmas, and over the years, we know that we prefer certain family members to make certain things, and that becomes their specialty. That thing that we all look forward to. We might not get it that often because, sadly, we don't make time to celebrate each other. And if we do it more often, the year is probably even worse because of some unfortunate thing that happened, illness or death or the like. So let's celebrate together and give thanks for where we are, who we are, and with whom we are celebrating. And let's enjoy it. Not always easy. I can tell you, it seems that the world is growingly divided. Always seeing from not just what the politicians are being told, but some of the other self-anointed individuals for whom their egos are bigger than maybe some of us should just have a chat with them privately and chastise them. But until that happens, we should be able to move about with a sense of sensibility and common sense, and work and love and togetherness to bring us closer together. Through that unity, we'll find greater strength in our community, and through that, we'll find a safe place where all of us can move about, not just freely and fairly, but with a sense of purpose and poised to be very positive, productive, and above all, people-centric, so that at the end of the day, we understand the importance that we are as people are all one. And no matter a color or creed, no matter our economic status, immigration status, we all have one thing in common. And at the end of the day, if we can find the commonality, we can be unified. Let not our differences divide. Well, 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255. I want to thank Ms. Sandra Archer for being so kind and courageous and sitting with us. And as she shared and relayed, just from her, memories growing up and even her practices now, we're mindful that in our families, there are differences, but there's love. In our families, there are times when, we wish we could be together, but because of the challenges of life, the trials and the tribulations, the pressures of work, sometimes we're just so dog tired, as they say, we just want to relax. We don't want to see anybody just then. But like she reminds us, many of us as parents, and certainly our parents, demonstrated actively that they did all that they can in that time to make Christmas special for us, not by the gift given alone, but by spending time and by showing love. So let's do that for one another, and let that be our gift to each other. The gift of love. And for those who understand the gift of life, well, consider being a blood donor. Ensure that we have a readily safe supply of blood for now, without having to worry about importation. We have the honor of taking one final call. Let's go to our phones. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon.
How are you today? Good afternoon.
I am good, and you?
Oh, I am blessed. I am indeed very thankful.
I just want to thank you for the good job that you have done throughout the years, and thank Susan for such a beautiful poem.
So
I am wondering how I can get a copy of that poem.
Well, she wants to weigh in now. I mean, Miss Susan?
Hello, caller?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I can give you a free copy.
Okay.
Wow.
And we'll talk after, and I'll get your information.
All right, sure.
Right. Merry Christmas.
You all have a blessed holiday season, you and your family, and be safe, okay?
Amen. And to you and yours too. And thank you for the encouraging words, and God bless you, Mom. So just stay on, and Susan will take care of you. Thank you, Mom. And then that lady epitomizes the love that has been in her community, the willingness to, let's say, give roses while you can appreciate it. Back in the day with apples while you could smell it. I know I honestly tell you, I know. It's very few times I'll tell you when I say I know, but I know. I know it's hard for many of us. I know it's difficult, and we don't always understand or appreciate the shoe in which the man walks, or the woman. But recognize that if you press on with purpose, and if you are as positive and productive, you'll find that, good follows good. And life is, and probably now more than ever, becoming increasingly difficult. But it doesn't mean that we have to become despondent or, act with a great sense of desperation. If you find yourself in a place where you're not able to cope in a positive, productive way or with something, well, lean on a friend. If you see your friend in need, reach out. There is help in many ways. And this time of year can be tiring, can be taxing, can be extremely, difficult. So let's love one another and draw closer. All right, I'm going to invite you to stay tuned. Don't even bother. If your friends listen to another radio station, say, listen, it's Christmas. It's only one radio station that matters all year round, and more so now. Tell them to tune into Radio Cayman and hear why we, so publicly declare that our on-air talent is the best. And Susan is going to just remind us of the good songs. Going to be all Christmas songs. You want to tell us what's queued up after? Can we preview what's going to come up next? And oh man, I like it. Well, this is a special rendition of, I think, Joel Wilson and myself. This is the one that we did. If people want to make sure, just no, it's actually going to sound good. All right, live, love, and laugh. Let's learn together. Let's love one another. And until tomorrow, my friends, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village, convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays.
Here is where tradition never dies.